Guys, we're here with the March 18th development update for Alchemy Stars here. So it's a Q&A here, so talking with the director, the art director of Alchemy Stars. Apparently his name's Tourdog. I didn't realize that there was just a guy who goes by Tourdog at Tourdog Studios, so that's new to me. But let's go and jump right into this Q&A session here. So the first question is, thank you for taking part in this interview. Please introduce yourself, basically. And then he answers, I'm Tourdog, the art director of Alchemy Stars. My primary responsibility is to make sure the game's art performance. So the translation for this Q&A is a little shoddy, so it's not that great, so I'm going to do my best here. Then the next question was, adjustments and improvements were released on the 10th of March, including increasing the number of formations. Please share with us the focus of this update and the difficulties you experienced, as well as users' feedback. And then he answered, different players have different demands. The hardest thing for us to decide for this update was definitely which aspect we should address first. We read each and every letter from players and analyze the survey we launched earlier to find out the most complained issues. We held regular meetings with the planning unit to solve problems and make plans. Actually, the increased number of formation is only a small part of our design improvement. We will continue to make the game better. So that's good. They're taking feedback from a lot of places. They're looking into it deeply, kind of doing surveys, all that stuff. So it's really good. I love the quality of life updates they made before. So here you can kind of see down here. Let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can kind of see this better. This was the last quality of life updates we've had. We got the formation stuff. We had the better sorting here. If you guys need to see this, just pause the video and rewind if you want to see specifically what this says. But let's continue on with the Q&A. So the next question was, I think our future updates will be similar to this 10th March update, focusing on what most users are concerned. Could you tell us what content you will work on next? And he says, I personally care more about the part that affects players' mood or causes players unnecessary frustration. Since the beginning of the year, I've been pressing my colleagues in the planning unit to work on solutions. So, I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is the AI. Maybe we're getting even more changes to the AI. That'd be kind of nice to see because the converters are still kind of dumb. I mean, the AI in general can still be kind of dumb. It is a very difficult thing to tackle. I mean, the AI is just no small feat to, like, fix. So maybe we'll see some more improvements on the AI, maybe some other things I can't think of at the moment, but that's the first thing that comes to my mind. So the next question is, the event Scarlet Amulet of Fate started on the 10th of March. Staged in the Far East, this event reminds me of the Cloud Blossom Destiny soon after the game's release. Can you tell us if the two events are related? Then he says, for me, the game Alchemy Stars is a large and colorful fantasy world. The story Scarlet Amulet of Fate takes place in the hero's hometown in the Far East, where culture, tradition, and the entire society in general are completely different from what in Astra. So, doesn't seem like it's related, but it is related? I don't know. Did he dodge the question? I guess I don't know much about the lore to see if he dodged the question or if he just answered the question by answering something else. I don't know. Sometimes it's also difficult with the translation here. But let's keep going. So far, we haven't heard anything about Scarlet Amulet of Fate 2. Is there anything you could share with our readers about the event schedule, form, and story? And he says, the second part, Scarlet Amulet of Fate, will be launched at the end of March. New Aurorians introduced during the first half, such as Yao, will join the team. It is still on Cloud Island. The story will focus around characters' bond and memories. So I guess that kind of confirms we're going to get a part 2 to this current event, which I have no complaints. I kind of like the theme of this event, so that's good in my book. Then the next question, many events and update information are released at the 6 months anniversary. So they release a lot of information during the 6 months anniversary time. And then players are particularly interested in the home system. How's it going? So he says the prototype of the home system is complete. We're working around the clock to perfect effects and adjust details in hopes of delivering an exceptional gaming experience. Characters of Alchemy Stars started forming in my head years ago. I've always wanted players to have a good time with their friends, besides getting fun and excitement fighting. The home system will make it come true. So they're probably taking a lot of their time here to do a system similar to the Colossus, where all the characters have like little details, where they have different animations for stuff they do idly while they're in the Colossus. Like Brock, for instance, will kind of jog back and forth, which is a really cool detail, and I'm excited to see what kind of small details they do with the housing system. And then at the end of the video, I'm gonna take a look at the Genshin housing system because I feel like it's gonna be very, very similar to the Genshin Impact housing system. It just makes the most sense to me because it's not gonna be anything similar to the Colossus, right? They've spent months on this housing system. You know it's gonna be very different. It's probably gonna be very in depth. I feel like the closest thing we can probably look at to get an idea of what that will look like is gonna be Genshin Impact's housing system. So pay attention to the end of the video if you want to see kind of like my analysis and what we could probably expect from the housing system. And then the next question is going to be, it was announced at the 6 months anniversary that the second part of the main story will be released before June. Can you tell us a bit more about the plot and update schedule? He says, the second part of the main story is still under development. We hope to bring it to our players mid of the year. Nobody likes spoilers. All I can share with you now is that we will have a bigger stage and more attractive characters. Enough said. We recently heard that a race car event is ready to be launched after April. I have to say that I'm quite surprised by this theme. Please tell us everything you're allowed to say at this stage. I personally am very interested in finding out if a similar minigame is also in planning. He says race cars are totally up the Rediesel Wrench's alley. This is a story about the Rediesel Wrench's tradition and the bond and relationship between its members. I can't wait for you to experience this. And spoiler alert, there'll be a new male character in the Rediesel Wrench. Strong and charming, just like Sansa. Did I talk too much? So, new husbando, guys. Is that him right there? Is that the husbando? I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be good. Good? It's like I wanted to say like good and great, but it'll be good, guys. So, next question. So far, we focus on things that have already been released. Is there anything new you could share exclusively with our readers, or is there anything you want players to know? Here is a story that perfectly shows my wicked sense of humor, and mainly to manifest the special charm of the true order to our players. Don't really know too much what he was saying there, like if he's referring to a specific story or just the overall story. I think he's just talking about the overall story, right? I don't know. I'm a little confused there. Then the last question, of course, was thank you so much for the interview today. Please say something to our users. And then he says, since today Alchemy Stars went online, we have been striving to deliver high-quality content to all our players. We'll continue making every effort to improve our game and provide an even more fascinating Alchemy Stars world. Thank you for your support. Yeah, you've been doing a pretty good job, Tourdog. I'll give you a pat on the back. You've been doing a pretty good job. So let's move on to the housing system in Genshin Impact, because I theorize the housing system is going to be pretty useful, right? There's no reason to implement a housing system if it doesn't have some form of a purpose. It could just be to, you know, get more in touch with the characters, to learn more about them, that sort of thing. But we already have the Colossus, right? And the Colossus is providing us materials, resources, like extra content. So it's like, what can they do with this housing system? Is it just going to be something very fun to like kind of customize? Or is it just going to be something where we can just learn about our characters more? I'm very curious what they do with this, because the Colossus already handles a lot of the resource generation. Like, how are they going to, like, tie together? So, let's go over to the Genshin portion, because I think that's going to be the main kind of thing we can look at to see what this housing system is going to look like. Guys, welcome back. We're here at Genshin Impact, so here we're looking at the housing system. So this is the house I made a long time ago, about the time when they first released this housing system. So basically what you can do is if I go to... Hold on, I have to figure out how to do this again. Oh, there it is, okay. Sorry, it's been a while. So, basically what you can do is you can edit your house, you can, like, edit all the furniture that you can put in this thing. So here I have a bunch of furniture that I can place anywhere. I can put this wherever I want. I can rotate it, that sort of thing. I have this full open 3D space. So it's sort of similar in a sense to Alchemy Stars, but a big difference compared to Alchemy Stars system is that you are kind of confined to different rooms, right? So you have to put stuff in those specific rooms. You don't really have a lot of freedom when it comes to, like, the whole look of your ship. Like, you're stuck with a ship and you have to deal with that room, and that room already has a theme. So for instance, there's a cafe. You can't really change the theme. It's still a cafe. I mean, I'm sure some of you are probably creative enough to make it not a cafe, but generally it is a cafe. So this is the outside. So there is an inside to the house. So it is sort of more similar to the Colossus inside your actual house building. But yeah, I can remove all these buildings if I want to. All of these I placed down myself, like all these trees, these mountains, that sort of thing. So some of the things I'm wondering if we're gonna get in Alchemy Stars is, are we gonna be able to place like terrain? Are we gonna be able to place roads? Or like different houses? Like, do the houses matter? Who knows? Or are they just decoration? That sort of thing. So here you can see some of the other tabs. There's like buildings. There's the terrain. There's some just small little furniture pieces. Here you can also place down characters in your town. So this is a really cool thing. I highly expect this to be an Alchemy Stars, guys. I will be shocked if this is not a feature. So this is something to probably to look forward to, because this is definitely going to be in the game. If you have to place those characters manually, I don't know, but I assume we're going to see them in one shape or form. Here you can put animals around your town. Here's the main building I was talking about. We'll go look at that in a second. We have the outdoor furnishings. And we have the outdoor set, which just gives you like set bonuses. So, but without further ado, let's go a little bit forward. So you can see kind of my town a little bit. So here you can see one of my characters I stationed here, Mona. So she's just kind of chilling here. I put her here, so she's kind of sitting here. So one of the things I'm really curious about is there like functionality with the building system that helps our gameplay? So in Genshin, for instance, you can have these farms. And these farms like allow you to collect these resources, which you can use to... I forget what you honestly do with it. It's been so long. Like, I believe you can do it for like cooking and that sort of thing. Oh, it's for ascending your character. So yeah, in Alchemy Stars terms, it's ascending. Same thing, but it has a purpose, right? You can plant resources and then you can do stuff. So is that going to be the same in Alchemy Stars, I wonder? Could be, it could not be. Also, the housing system has a function where you can go to the shop. So they have like a little shop where if you interact with the housing system, you can buy some stuff. And some of it's pretty useful stuff, right? So you can get some energy so you can keep playing the game. Get resources for characters. So I probably expect something like that for Alchemy Stars. Where maybe we might have some kind of shop where interacting with it. Or not. Could not. It's possible. But yeah, maybe we'll be able to buy more furniture or something like that. It's very open-ended what could happen. So here's going to be the inside of the house here. So in Genshin, you can have your house, which you're kind of mandatory to have. And here you can put characters in here as well. You can see I have a lot more characters stationed inside my house. And then you can modify all the furniture here as well. So, as you can see, like all of this was like placed down by me. I can interact with any of these. It's all stuff I placed down. Oh, move that a little bit, but here's all the different settings. You can change like the walls. You can change, you know, furniture, small furniture, ornaments, wall decorations. Here's the companions again. Do your pets. And then you can do like the floors, all of that. So this just poses the question. Are we going to get this in Alchemy Stars? I hope so, because I kind of like this system. It gives you a lot of creative freedom. The Colossus is cool. I kind of decked out my Colossus a little bit, but it doesn't nearly have the same freedom as Genshin's currently. But I fully expect the Alchemy Stars system is probably going to give us a lot of flexibility. And here you can select like the different rooms and such. Here I just have my character just chilling in a circle over there, just talking to each other. And yeah, you can modify all these rooms, which is really cool. So this is sort of the housing system for those that don't know in Genshin. So I fully expect to just be the same in Alchemy Stars. At least very, very similar. So it's kind of something we're going to have to wait and see if they add some form of like a currency associated with the housing, if there's going to be some form of benefit, or if it's just going to be for fun. It could just be for fun, but I think they put a lot of development time in this. So I feel like it's going to be a little bit more than just for fun. But, you know, only time will tell, guys. What do you guys think the housing system will look like? Are you excited for the housing system? Because honestly, I am. I think it will be really cool. It might add a lot of creativity we can have with our, like, our building space. I feel like I'm just repeating a lot of the same words. I can't wait for the housing system so I can have a housing system so I can build things with the housing system. But yeah, I fully expect it to be like a really cool feature. They said the prototype is done, so that means it's, you know, it's close. It's very close, guys. I'm sure they just have to hash out bugs. Like, they're trying to put a lot of like small details because they put a lot of love into the classes. I don't know if you guys noticed, but the characters like to do little small little cute things. Like Brock, you'll see him kind of like dashing back and forth because he's exercising. I can't think of any other examples, but like they'll interact with the terrain, the background, the furniture, that sort of thing, which is really cool. So I actually have a very, very high hopes for the housing system. I think it's going to be very intricate. I think there's going to be a lot of small details. It's going to be very cool, guys. But anyways, that's going to be it for me. Thank you so much for watching. And remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this and some other fun ones I have planned in the future. So without any further ado, guys, I'll see you in the next video.